I recently saw on the internet about the car that you most likely don't even know exists. It's Tesla's apparent main rival, somehow. Well, I may as well show it to you because it is really, really nice, and it's not exactly sold in big numbers. It's only a few thousand globally, which is crazy. And even though I think it looks a bit weird, I kind of like it. And I called up a local dealer and I said, can I video a little bit inside it just to show the people that watch my videos? And they said no, they're not allowed to film anything with their EVs. They didn't ask who I was or what the channel was about or anything at all. They just said no. So I was okay to film outside though, so I went on the curb outside and filmed it. So you can at least see a bit of footage of it, which is pretty cool. It's a nice looking car. I think it looks a bit like the old EV1. It's called EV1 from California about 20 years ago. If you remember that, there's a brilliant documentary on that car. Thank you to all of the new subscribers to the channel. I recently crossed over 4,000 subscribers, which is brilliant. And most of you aren't subscribed, so if you could subscribe, that would really help me out. That'd be great. Thank you. My last video is about the Honda Prologue EV, which is really nice. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put it in the description at the end of the video. And it's actually quite affordable, I'd say. I think it's about 40,000 US dollars or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. Big range, 300 miles EPA. Genuinely a nice car, so you should definitely watch that video. I'll put it in the end, like I said. Why would you even write this about this car when it's only sold a few thousand and it's way overpriced? If you remember the Hyundai Ionique 5, I know there are so many EVs these days, so it is hard to remember all of the names, even for me, and I talk about these every day. It's a fantastic looking EV with a good range, and it charges really, really fast, but it is horrendously expensive. And the new Hyundai Ionique 6 is nothing like the 5 at all, and it looks totally different. And it has a 77 kilowatt hour battery, obviously very efficient, and the Ionique 5 is known to be very inefficient, but it starts at 75,000 Aussie dollars, which is quite a lot of money, I think, for what it is. And it's a Hyundai for $75,000 base price. And you can spend a lot more than that. I think that's just crazy. It's not a premium brand at all. They make shopping cars, the grocery getters, I think they say, the young people. And other than the fact that it has a decent sized battery, there's no reason why this car should, command 75 grand. I can't see why. So you would have to love Hyundai to spend that sort of money on one, especially when you can go and get the Model 3 brand new for 10 grand less. So you can go get a brand new Tesla Model 3, save 10 grand, pay for a couple 100,000 kilometers of driving with that. That's crazy, isn't it? It's just nuts. So it clearly isn't a rival, but what is it? So let's go over the specs briefly, and people will go buy them. It is a nice car. I would like it if somebody gave it to me, but I wouldn't want to pay 75,000 for it. So it's a reasonable size, nothing small, nothing massive. It's 15 centimeters longer than Model 3. 77 kilowatt hour battery, 168 kilowatt motor, so that's 226 horsepower as standard. That's a single motor as well, or you can pay an extra $10,000, a lot of money, and get you can get all-wheel drive, which is 239 kilowatts, which is about 320 horsepower. So clearly, they're not going for fast. They never sought after it being a supercar beating car, I don't think. But the charging is 350 kilowatts capable, and if you find a charge fast enough, you might actually see 350 kilowatts, which is pretty cool, isn't it, I think? So it's for cruising on motorways, and I think charging quickly between places. So I know it's a silly colour, but maybe it's a bit of a retmobile, people that sell things going up and down the motorways. Maybe it's for that. I don't really know. So it's more expensive than the Kia EV6 and the Hyundai Ionique 5, and you can spec it up with a few things, and it's well over 100 grand. 100 grand for a Hyundai in like bright green. That's just nuts. Can you imagine telling your siblings, you know, your friends and your family. You've just spent $100,000 on a Hyundai. I think they've just sold about 3,300 as of July globally. I think it was 3,270 or something like that. So it is really not massive sales figures from Hyundai. And I think the Hyundai Ionique 5 globally at the same time had sold 20 something thousand. So not massive. For those of you that are regular watchers, I bet you're thinking about the BYD Seal. Probably. That's going to be better, surely, because it's BYD, so it's well made. Looks better, I think, obviously subjective. Specs are better for the Seal, obviously. So good luck to Hyundai, I think, selling the Ioniq 6 in meaningful numbers. I don't really see the point in spending all the money designing and making a car to sell 5,000 of them. Well, I don't see what the point of that is. So I'll be talking about the BYD company, not just the Seal, in the next video tomorrow, because they've been smashing out their sales, hundreds of thousands in a month in September, record numbers, the most they've ever sold last month. And I won't give the details away, but it is incredible that they are able to actually sell so many EVs globally. And I know that they've been struggling with production a bit, but not majorly. Like, people are actually getting their cars so many months after they've placed their orders. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to write them in the comments. I'll get back to you. And I read all of my comments every day. Generally speaking, it is a pleasure to read almost every comment. Occasionally you get someone who writes something a bit, you know, untoward, but that's fine. Remember to subscribe and make sure you watch tomorrow's video, where I'll be talking about BYD, like I said, and how well they've been doing. So stay tuned.